Guys, well played. What a night that was. Lee, do you put that down as the complete European performance?
Yeah, you could say that. First half, we were 2-0 up, but we could have been a lot more better in possession. Sloppy, but second half came to the traps flying, and we showed what we're all about.
And you just never stopped. You wanted more and more, didn't you, Scott?
Yeah, that's always the manager says. Never take the gas off and just keep pushing and pushing and trying to create more goals and try and score more goals. So that's what we did, and it was a great win.
You looked as if you took your game up to another level as well tonight than we've seen so far this season. Were you just feeding off the atmosphere, the importance of the night?
Yeah, definitely. I think the atmosphere is unbelievable. It's always unbelievable. And obviously the main thing is we won the game. But on a personal level is for me that, like everyone else, we want to step our games up. And I think, everyone did that in the team.
The service was pretty good as well, wasn't it?
Exactly. Griff setting people up and he got his goal. So, yeah, great win.
All round fantastic from you. Stephen Gerrard said after the game you were the catalyst to that whole performance tonight. That must be nice to hear.
Yeah, especially as somebody Stephen Gerrard's calibre. He's been at the highest level. He's won everything. He's won this competition himself. So, to hear that is always nice. But we've still got another 90-minute job to do over there. The tie's not over. But one foot in the Champions League. But you can't take anything for granted.
A couple of assists and a goal as well, or was it yours? I'm not sure. I think they're saying own goal now. I hate to tell you that.
Oh, you're joking. Nah, it was on target, so I'm claiming that. But listen, it's a good victory for us. We're going to Tuesday's game with full confidence. But got a big game Saturday. Away to Kilmarnock first.
Absolutely, going over there. It's a long journey, but is it just simply no complacency despite the 5-goal lead?
Yeah, no. There's just that we've got loads of games coming up, and we just got to keep going and keep bouncing on.
Absolutely fantastic tonight, guys. Well done, well played.
Cheers, guys. Thanks.
Thanks very much.
Well, he could certainly have the goal for me, being part of the Strikers Union, but I'm not sure Lee Griffiths is going to get it. Let's have a look at that goal now. It was deflected. He said it was on target. I'm not quite sure, Lee, it was. What do you think, Stevie?
No, I'd love to give him it. I think his performance over the 90 minutes certainly deserved it. He does terrifically well cutting in on his left foot. The defender has to show him the other way, but he shows great skill and great composure. But the angle tells the story that it's going to go down as an own goal from Shitoff.
It just sounds funny. I'm sorry. I think that's probably what Lee Griffiths thinks about it as well, isn't it, really? There we go. September 2002, FC Cordova was the last time Celtic had a better scoreline in Europe than that. Any memories of that, John?
Yeah, I think I played in that one.
Not only you played, you scored, as did Chris Sutton as well, who's going to join us after the next break, I believe. So emphatic victory, and it all started with another goal that got a marginal deflection that was given as an own goal from Postnikov.
Yeah, well, this is the opening goal. It's a brilliant pass there from Lustig, good pace on the ball, and it's Rogic who's driving into the box. Nobody wants to tackle him because they're aware that a slight touch of Rogic would go over, and nobody wants to get near him here. But it's a great drive, skips past a couple of players, and he does really well. Dinks it over the goalkeeper and Celtic get that little bit.
Cracking play, Stephen.
Yeah, it's great play. I thought Celtic's, forward runs without the ball today were very, very dangerous, and this was a great bit of skill by Rogic to show that skill in such a tight area was superb. Going forward tonight, Celtic were relentless, really, really impressive.
2 goals followed from Scott Sinclair, Stevie, both similar in many ways.
Yeah, I thought the keeper maybe should have done a bit better with this one, but Scott had a quiet first 20 minutes and then grew into the game, and I ended up putting in a superb performance. Once he started running without the ball, I thought he got a lot of joy. He was breaking lines with his runs, and once he gets in, he's showing the form from last season, which was superb.
I think this was the goal of the night for me because it gives Celtic that little bit of cushion.
In terms of significance.
It's 2-0 at this time.
Yeah.
We are saying if Celtic can get a second goal and take that into half-time with a 2-goal lead, and I thought that was the biggest goal of the evening.
And then we sat here half-time wondering which way they'd go, whether they'd stick or twist, but they went for it straight away after the break and got another one.
No surprise to me at all. Brendan does like putting teams to the sword, and as Scott Sinclair said in his interview, they wanted to keep on the gas, and they certainly did. Another great run from Scott Sinclair that breaks the line, and another superb finish.
Credit the ref as well, there, Stevie, because he didn't stop the play.
Well,
maybe he should have, because the clash ahead, they should blow straight away. But he kept the game running, and Sinclair, what a way to pass that was from Griffiths. And hit the target, you got a chance.
There you go. Through the legs often works, doesn't it? If you go low, and you've always got a chance in those situations. 4-0, a great team goal.
Yeah, I mean, Celtic completely control the middle of the pitch. pitch tonight. I thought Scott Brown and Nathan was superb all evening. Lee Griffiths again, superb timing with the release of the pass. And a superb finish from Forrest, who was very impressive as well.
It was. The ball gets knocked forward there, a great hold-up play, and then, well, run, Forrest, run, really.
Yeah, it's a great run, though, from James Forrest. He's got no thought in his mind to square in that. He's just seen this great play. Good touch. Look at that. Excellent movement.
What about the pass? The pass that sets the move off from Nathan. I mean, I was very impressed with him for such a young lad in a big game. He completely controlled the middle of the park. Superb.
Didn't give it away all night. That's a great finish.
Not a great night for this, but
don't mock him.
Don't mock him. Don't. Yes, that's one, John. Dad jokes galore tonight. They're all over the place. We're going to take another break. Wonderful performance from Celtic. Elsewhere, Hapoel Beersheva have beaten Maribor by 2-1. Sevilla, good away win for them. Napoli have beaten Nice by 2-0. Excellent result for them, and Olympiacos winning 2-1. They were trailing at half-time. We've been joined in the studio now by Chris Sutton. You missed a great game. I don't know where you were, but no, Chris was our co-commentator, of course, and we'll get his thoughts in just a moment. But first, let's hear from Brendan Rodgers. Brendan, many congratulations and thank you very much for joining us after the game. A wonderful performance from your team. You must be absolutely delighted.
Yeah, it's a brilliant result and performance from us, Gary. I think these games are real pressure games at this stage of the season. So I thought that both teams maybe a little bit nervous when we started the game. They had one or two spells in the first half, but then once we were able to sort of break their press and score the first goal, then we really settled down in the game and very composed. And obviously as the game went on, you know, we played our shape very, very well, pressed the game well, and of course we end up winning with a great scoreline. So yeah, it was an outstanding team performance, and again shows the measure of how the players have progressed and developed. You know, this time last year this was a really tough game for us, but tonight we showed that composure and maturity to go and finish the job, and maybe could have had another one or two more goals.
It was a very emphatic performance. How do you think the team has evolved in the year that you've been there compared with where you were at this stage last season?
Well, I think they know how to play football now. I think when I came in, what I had was a team that had physical courage. You know, they would run, they would work, and what we've developed over the last year is not just that physical courage and understanding of where to press and how to press, but also that to have that nerve to play, and especially in games like this here. It's been an education for the supporters, of course, because normally in Britain if the ball goes back, they see it as a negative, but the crowd now understand when you go back, we're starting a new attack, and the players, you can see their composure. They played the shape really, really well, something that we've done a lot of work on over the last season, and they got the rewards tonight for that mature performance. So yeah, they're evolving, they're getting better, they're understanding that, especially at this level, you have to dominate the ball and certainly control games with and without the ball. But yeah, that was very pleasing, both in scoreline and performance.
I've got someone you probably know quite well alongside me, Stephen Gerrard. I know he wants to ask you a question.
Hi, Stevie. Okay.
Hello, Brendan. I'd just like to ask you, I know there's still a professional job to do next week over in Kazakhstan, and I know Liverpool have still got some hard work to do next week as well. If you both progress, how much would you relish testing yourself against Mr. Klopp on your old team in Liverpool?
They must be paying you to say that, Stevie. Now, listen, it would be. I hope at some time in the future I can go back to Anfield. As you know, we had an incredible time there together, and like I say, it's a phenomenal club. So if we could both get through and be drawn in the group stages, it's two clubs very similar in terms of fanatical support, big history with both clubs, and yeah, as I said, it would be nice. You know, Liverpool are an outstanding squad of players, with an outstanding manager, but like I say, we both want to get there, make sure we're in the draw, and yeah, it'd be fantastic to play there.
It'd be interesting to see who wins the sing-off between You'll Never Walk Alone, that's for sure. Chris Sutton wants to ask you something.
You had a big call tonight, Brendan. I thought Nishan was outstanding, but how big a decision, or tough a decision, was it for you to leave Stuart Armstrong out?
That was quite easy, I think. He, at this level, I just felt at this stage, you know, Neacham came in because of his ability to control the ball. Stu, we know, is a goal-scoring midfielder. He's been outstanding for me, and we're hoping in the next short period of time he'll commit for a little bit longer here, which will be great for him. But Neecham's a player. We decided to play with 2 controllers. With him and Brownie, he's got good legs. He can look after the ball. He's secure with the ball, and at this level, you need to have that. So I felt getting into this game that was the right call to make, and I thought Ollie was fantastic. But I can play a combination in midfield, and the strength of the midfield is the 3 of them in there. It's not necessarily one player. It just depends on the game and what we want out of the game.
It's 15 years since you won so emphatically in European football, Brendan. The goal scorers that day, amongst them, Chris Sutton and John Hartson. John, all yours.
Yeah,
Hi,
Brendan, well, great win, great performance, well done. I just want to ask you about Neil Bitton. We've shown him go in there tonight at centre-half. We've seen him sit in front of the back 4. We know he can go forward. It must be great to have a player that can play in a number of positions like him within the group.
Yeah, I think it's one that, listen, naturally players will ask the question, and guys like Chris and yourselves maybe think, okay, is it a risk to play him at the back? But I work with him every day in training. I see his qualities, I see his profile as a player, and I always like to have a midfield player that can slot into the back. We had it at Liverpool with Emre Can, who could play in there if needed, or he can step forward one. And Nero's very much like that. The game in front of him, he can play very well. He's got good stature. He can defend forward. He can go and attack the ball, John. But he gives us that composure when we flip into our system to build the game. So I've seen him make less mistakes than some natural centre halves. But I never seen it as a risk. If I thought it was too big a risk, of course I wouldn't have played. But these games are for young players, but of course they're for experienced players as well. And I just felt that his composure. He showed it away at Rosenborg, how good he was when he came on. He's played in other games here in the league for me, and he's a very important member of our squad.
Brendan, you tend to make hard work of things sometimes at Celtic, getting through to the group stages, but surely not this time. It's job done, isn't it?
Well, I think it's the first part of it. I think that any coach or manager or player will tell you. I think you see with the players, they thank the crowd for the support, but they weren't going overboard. We know we've got an important league game now at the weekend, and then we fly out to there and we'll adapt and look to finish the job. But you couldn't ask for any more. You're playing in a pressure game, final qualification phase. You got your first leg at home, and to win 5-0 and have the evening that we had, it was perfect, really. So, but now we've got to finish the job.
Yep. Many congratulations from all of us here, and thanks very much for joining us.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Good luck in
Cheers.
for the rest of the season. Well, this weekend's Premier League offering on BT Sport comes from the Potteries as Stoke entertain Arsenal. The Gunners, of course, started the season with that spectacular winning night win over Leicester. That starts from 5 on BT Sport 1. Before then, keep up to date with all the 3 o'clock matches with BT Sport Score. And rounding off your Saturday night, Jake Humphrey will be going through all the day's talking points on Premier League tonight. As far as the Champions League looks next week, Celtic's match in Kazakhstan is available on Tuesday from 4 o'clock here on BT Sport 2. And Liverpool play their second leg against Hoffenheim on Wednesday night. Coverage starts from 7 p.m. on BT Sport 2. And it's also available in 4K. Well, welcome, Chris. Great night for Celtic, all round, terrific performance, clean sheet, loads of goals, couldn't ask for more.
It's incredible. The performance was incredible, and this is a high-pressure game, and it was about the players stepping up. But you see the other results tonight, single goal in most of them. It was, what Brendan has done to this club and this team is nothing short of a miracle. I mean,
what has he done? You're close to it. You see loads of games here, don't you?
Well, he won the treble, you know, but if you just go back to what he had to take over and where they are now, and the difficulty of this season is last season, had a bit of a free go in the Champions League, but there's expectation, and this wasn't an easy game against Astana, who knocked out Legia in the last round. Yeah. So it was a tough night, and it was about stepping up. And Celtic haven't really performed this season as well as they could have done. And it's a high pressure. It was a big night, and they stepped up. The big players stepped up.
They were given a really tough draw, weren't they, last season? Given a reasonable draw, have half a chance, wouldn't they?
Yeah, of course, it's very difficult to compare Celtic to the likes of Barcelona, but what this does tonight is it gives them more financial in the transfer market. Can he get 2 or 3 players in before the window shuts to strengthen, make this team a lot stronger, and that'll give them a better chance to compete in the group stages.
Where does he need to strengthen, John?
Well, looking at tonight, a midfielder, centre-back, you know, if you got several injuries to your squad, centre-back maybe, centre-forward, then Dembele seems to pick up a few injuries. But listen, you just want quality players, Gary. All over, you know, anywhere on the park, just real quality. That's what they want.
I think they're short of a centre half. You know, I know Brendan saying it was worth the gamble. Beat on. Well, you know, is when you win 5-0. But you know, I'm not so sure about him long term, and you know, Boyata and Sviatchenko, I'm not sure about them as well. I think that's a position you know, he could strengthen it, and Patrick Roberts, you never know.
Well, that's the possibility. Do you think Celtic can get through a group stage? Is it too much to ask for a club playing perhaps in a league where it's not as competitive as other
Well, I think
leagues?
if they had a similar draw to say Leicester last season, I'm not saying that was easy. And
no, that's a fair point. I'll take that.
Then absolutely, but you know, you have to remember this is a Celtic side who don't have the finance which clubs do down south. So they punch above their weight, but they've got players the likes of Griffiths, who would, you know, for me, tear it up in the English Premier League. You know, he's a natural goal scorer.
And a final word, Celtic-Liverpool in the group stages. Let's hope they both get through and then draw each other. That'll be something for you.
I think it'd be great. I think it'd be perfect for both sets of supporters. Great for us pundits to come and watch the games and enjoy them, and it'd be a good test for both sides.
It certainly would. Stephen, thanks very much. John, thanks for joining us. Thanks for popping up from the commentary box, Chris. It's been quite a night. That's it from us on a great night.